Thank you, and thank everyone for being here today to discuss this very important issue. I wanted to start by first mentioning a September 2019 review that VBA did of approximately 9,700 previously denied MST claims. It's my understanding that of that 9,700, approximately 1,900 required additional development. Can you give us an update since September? How many of those are complete? What phase, the remaining percentage are currently in?
Yes, of the 9,700, we still have 1,900 that we are working with Congresswoman Luria. Of those, approximately 460 of those we have found that we needed to increase, and we have increased the compensation on those 460. There's another 500 that we are still developing, that are under development, which may mean that we need additional information, we need an exam. But the remaining number, roughly 900 or so, we have, and maybe a few less than that, the decision was sustained. So again, once we go through and make a decision, we have to go back and review those cases to ensure that they're done correctly. And that's one of the recommendations that the IG is waiting on us to finish working these cases so we can go back to them. And as Ms. Murphy mentioned, this back and forth between the IG, we do have to negotiate and sometimes go back and get additional information before they will close out the action item.
Okay, well, thank you for the update on that progress. And do you anticipate another periodic review in 2020, and what time frame will that happen?
So if I can answer that, ma'am. I think earlier it was referenced that these 9,700 cases were inaccurately adjudicated. I would clarify that. The IG found they were improperly processed, which means a step of some sort was skipped. Maybe the necessary
Well,
phone call
actually, to
wasn't
make
made.
9,700 significantly, out of how many? What percentage was that?
So these were denials.
Denials, out of how many
Denials.
cases overall?
Over
There were
a couple of year period.
We looked from October of 2016
Okay,
until June of 2018. So
Okay, would you mind following up with the number so I can
follow
understand a percentage and the
Certainly.
scale of this? And since we only have a little time remaining, I'd like to shift to some comments that Ms. Kubek made. And thank you for the work that you do providing legal assistance. And I found your remarks very important, talking about how we process this, and we frequently talk about how difficult this is for a veteran to have to relive this. And I was not necessarily aware that throughout the process that they're not allowed to designate an alternate representative, either a medical professional or a lawyer representing them to provide this information so that they do not have to continue to relive this in the process of answering questions about their claim. And I also noticed when Ms. Cuba brought this up, and during some of her comments, Ms. Murphy, you shook your head. You said, that's not true. I'm kind of understanding why there's a disconnect, and also that just made me feel like there's an unwillingness on your part to perhaps listen to people who are dealing face-to-face with real live veterans like we do in our office when constituents come in. I mean, Ms. Kubek's stories are stories I hear over and over again from real people. And, I mean, do you have a mechanism to listen to this kind of information that you're getting from the field where people are just not, the process isn't working for them, it's causing more pain, more people actually having, suicidal ideations or feeling more in distress after trying to go through a process where they're seeking help?
Sure. No question, this is a horrible situation. It's difficult to talk about it, it's difficult to engage with people on it, and that's why it makes it even more necessary to bring light to this. And that's what Congress is doing with these oversight hearings. It's very necessary that the whole greater veteran community continue to talk about this and bring visibility to it. That we do training, that we work together.
I got that.
closely,
You got a lot of
that we work
training.
with
I
the
think you're
VSOs.
putting effort into it in ways that you think are going to be productive, and I hope that those are actually helping with the problem. But can a veteran who wants to have a claim, filed, can they have a lawyer or someone else designated speak on their behalf? Is that allowed in the process?
They certainly can take advantage of working with one of our veteran service
Okay,
organizations.
so when the person, when the claims person calls and needs more answers, can that veteran say, or can it be documented in their file, that they have a representative speaking on their behalf? Can Ms. Kubek speak for her client?
It is documented in the file, and if the veteran chooses to have them speak, I don't see a reason that that wouldn't be.
So are your
Okay.
people trained for that?
We will make sure that they are trained.
So you're
If you
telling me
have
that
an
it's
accredited-
not really a problem with the rules, it's a problem with potentially how the agents who are processing the claims have interpreted it, that they
Potentially,
speak
yes.
to a different
If-
person?
Yes, Congresswoman Luria, if you have an accredited representative, and
What
we are.
do they have to do to be accredited? A lawyer?
Well,
What-
we
what's
just can't
the criteria?
discuss, we cannot discuss intimate, sensitive information from any claimant about that claimant's information unless we have been served notice by a representative who
So
has been.
what is this, a power of attorney from
It
an
is
individual?
it's a power
or-
of attorney. That is correct.
Okay.
That is correct.
So I mean, I think that could help improve this process because it really wasn't brought to light. And I think we're out of time, but it looks like Ms. Kubek would like to follow up with a remark, if that's okay.
Sure, and yeah, you're welcome to respond, Ms. Kubek.
Yeah, I just wanted to say, so the appointment of representation form, which the VA has, this is what I use to say that I'm representing my clients. It's filed in all of my cases. It requires me to provide my contact information, all of that information. What happens is when the veteran receives this call, first of all, I feel that once someone has appointed a representative, as in other legal proceedings, and Social Security does this, they would talk directly with me from that point on. But second of all, if that's not going to be the choice, I have had veterans who receive a call from the VBA, say to the person on the phone, please speak with my representative, I don't want to talk about this. And I have never once received a call after that has happened. I have never received follow-up on those claims, ever. In my years of doing this, it hasn't happened.
And what we'll do, Congresswoman Luria, if we know about those, we need specifics. Now, obviously, if there are thousands going on, and we'll make sure that we get training out to our employees to make sure that these kinds of recurrences, again, we need this kind of feedback. That's how we get better. But speaking to specifics are kind of tough because we do grant thousands of claims daily, MST, survivor-type claims. So we do get these right in some cases. Where we get them wrong, we need to know about it so we can improve upon our processes, leverage our collaboration with the VSOs and members of the OIG and members of Congress to tell us where we're getting wrong and afford us the opportunity to get it better. If we don't, then we discourage more people from coming from the VA. And that's why we're here, for people that have served this great country, and we need to do a great job, but we have to be informed. And of course, even in this environment, we're being informed. You let us know where there's a problem, specifics, and we will deal with specifics.